Even with the whole white supremacy, black this and black that, the whole racism going on in America right now, I still find out that a whole lot of black people, tend to get married to a black man, or maybe a black man get married to a white person. And I'm like, how do they actually survive, right? With the whole, with the whole stuffs. I saw a couple of videos and I would like you to actually see them. Then I'll be back with what I have to say about it.
Why is every African woman marrying a white man? The colonizers' wives have started stitching my video. First of all, did I mention any name? I did not mention any name. If you're married to one of those colonizers that are poor, that are about to die, wait until you and your colonizer give birth to children.
You can say what you want to say without colonizer this, colonizer that, especially on the internet. I'm like, does this girl actually have anybody that speaks to her, like advise her? She can be funny actually sometimes, but on this note, she wasn't funny at all. It was just screaming raz, uncouth. How can you come and be shouting colonizer this? And you probably want to work with brands that is owned by colonizers. Well, honestly, if a colonizer were to stand in front of you now, you will not be able to look at them because these people are long gone. How about people start blaming you for the role that your forefathers played in slavery? Would you like that? Because if we're going to talk about colonizer, colonizing, colonization, whatever, the people that colonized us did not do it on their own. They got help from some of us. They say if you point one finger to someone, the four other fingers are pointing back to you. You probably have white friends. Are you trying to say your white friends are colonizers? And then in the end of her video, she said, even if you want to marry a colonizer, marry a wealthy colonizer, a colonizer with money. What you see as wealth will not be wealth to another person. Let's say you end up marrying a white guy that you think has got loads of money. But that white guy that you think has got loads of money might not have money for other people, might be broke to other people. Or, oh, my husband has money more than your husband, or I have money more than you, more than that. I don't think it makes any sense because wealth is money. Money, rich, whatever, it is relative. Wealth to one person might just be a man that can buy her a nice car or take her travel, things like that. And wealth or rich, another girl might be someone that can buy her a private jet. Wealth to one other girl might be someone that can buy her designer bag, Birkin. And to another person, it might be someone that can buy her a mansion in maybe New York or in London. You get me? Yes, I'm of the opinion that if you want to get married to a man that can comfortably take care of you. Because honestly, a lot of girls that will marry wealthy men, they might not be a provider. They might not take care of you the way you want. They might just be there to maybe spend the money on you, maybe buy you drinks, buy you this, buy you that, but will never invest in your growth. That honestly will not do anything for you. So imagine you want to marry a white man in the future and you marry a white man that he has loads of money but never invest in your growth. You're still the same person as you were when you first met him. The man's money is not doing anything for you. It's not uplifting you. It's not moving you to another level and all that. Like you rightfully said in your other video, it is your opinion. Your father does not own the internet. Your mother does not own. So yeah, I do agree with that thing you said. The internet, people have opinion. Everybody can leave their opinion on the internet. You get me? My husband will always say opinions are like back. Everybody has it. But when you're leaving your opinion, just know that the internet never forgets. You're right to leave your opinion, and so also is the other girl that made the video. She's also right to make a video leaving her own opinion about this. It's the internet. Anybody can do whatever they want to do. And I do believe that the reason Emo jumped on this video is because something that is going viral at the time, so she also wanted to go viral, even though she's used to going viral. But yeah, I get it. In the whole thing of going viral, let's be mindful of what we say on the internet. But like you said, you didn't mention anybody's name, so I don't feel attacked, and I guess a lot of people shouldn't feel attacked by your message. If you're going to say, oh, these people are colonizers, you wear fashion brands that you, in your own word, if you see every white man as a colonizer, you shouldn't be wearing those clothes you're wearing. You shouldn't work with brands that you work. If we're going to say, oh, every white man on this earth is a colonizer, then maybe we shouldn't be doing a lot of things that we're doing. We shouldn't be wearing a lot of clothes that we're wearing. And I'm sure you want to work with some of these reputable brands that you claim are colonizers. You're opening to marry a colonizer. So why you come online to bash people that choose to marry whatever colonizer that they want to get married to? Imagine you meet a white guy that loves you so much, and maybe you end up liking the person a lot, or let's say loving the person, and he sees a video like this of you on the internet calling him a colonizer, because that's what you're calling every white guy colonizer. He'd be like, if you think I am a colonizer, why do you want to be with me? The people in your comments that's rooting for you, most of those people have white friends. If I'm a white girl and I see a friend of mine in that comment hyping you, that's the end of that friendship, because you obviously see me as a colonizer. It just didn't make sense. If you wanted to leave an opinion like that, I think there would have been a better way to put it. It's like, chose a better word, something like that. Anyway, this is my opinion that nobody asked for. Thanks for watching. Bye.
So here is why I think media is pushing the interracial black-white partnership so much. And bracing y'all right now, I am going to sound a little Dr. Umarish, but just hold on and bear with me, okay? I think the reason why we're seeing such a push for black, white, interracial couples is not because love is love, because racism is over, but it is an attempt to continue on the white heritage and to diminish the black heritage. Now, keep in mind, I don't know how true this will end up being under this administration because they are cutting everything, and Levy, Virginia could be on the chopping block too. So just know that while this is what I think, it could very well turn out to not be that at all. But I'm thinking about it from the standpoint that in about 20 to 30 years, the white race in America will be the minority. And I think that is freaking the white folks out tremendously. They are panicking over the potential of the white race being lost and forgotten about. And I think they're trying to find now creative ways to ensure that the white race prevails. And I think one of the ways they found that out is through diluting the black race. If a black person and a white person get together and have a baby, that baby is not biracial. If that biracial child then also gets with a white person and has a baby, that baby has a high chance of coming out white. There is a high potential for them to be able to wipe out our black genes within like 2 generations, maybe 3 tops. And that's what I think it's about. I don't think this is a whole, oh, we're so diverse, look, we got a black person, white person. No, I think this is them trying to normalize us coming together and having kids, not because love is love, not because we're fighting against racism, but because they are trying to stay in the game for as long as they possibly can. And if you want to get even more technical here, I tend to notice the interracial dynamic is a black man and a white woman. And I think that is for a reason too. Because typically speaking, when the woman is black, she's going to raise her kids immersed in black culture and black history. That typically is not the same when the black person's the father. Let's just keep it a stack, keep it a bean. When the mother is white, they are going to raise those kids white. You see where I'm going with that? I think that this is all very intentional messaging and done for a reason. This for me is a strong reason why I personally will not be having no kids by no white man. No. My blackness means a lot to me, and it means a lot for my kids to look like me. Say you take it how you want, you can call it selfish, but baby, having kids is selfish in and of itself. It is what it is. But I personally do not want to start the diluting of my race and who I have kids with. So if it ain't black, baby, I ain't having no kids, and it is what it is.
It's so sad, yeah. We as black people used to think dating a white man is everything and white man look after you better. But all of the black woman them who date the white man them are divorced now and them are cry because them realize that the white man them are trash. The white man them like cheat. They like to take them like drink and them things there and them love cheat. Them man here. Some of them never have confidence until we black people pick them up and give them a little confidence and then them start cheat on you. When you meet a white man over the age of 35, them never married, them never have no pitney, run. And some of them still live at home with them man. Run from them, I tell you no. If you don't meet them on the dating site or no run, them man they no good. Something wrong with them. Them have some health problem.
Alright guys, so tell me why I went grocery shopping earlier and took Breeze along with me, and this lady comes up to me and she was like, you have a really cute kid. And I was like, oh, thank you. And she was like, are you the babysitter? Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Babysitter? No, I'm not the babysitter. I birthed this child, 8 months ago. I wouldn't be so upset about it if it didn't happen over and over and over again. I was at the airport a month ago and was nearly stopped because they thought I stole her. And I'm just like, this is my child. This lady was like, is that your baby? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay. This child looks like me, doesn't she? Okay, yeah, I know she has blue eyes.
She's got my eyes, she's got my hair, but she has your face, she has your nose, she has your mouth, and over and over and over again. And it always happens when I'm not with you.
I know. People, do y'all not understand how genetics work? Genetics do crazy things. Do y'all think she looks like me?
Or does she look like me?
Or does she look like Travis? I don't know. I think that she looks like me, but of course I'm her mother, so of course I'm going to think that. But comment down below because I feel like I'm getting harassed now.
I saw this video explaining why black athletes prefer white wives, and as someone with a white dad that was raised in a 90% white environment, I just wanted to give y'all the tea on how white people raise their daughters to date, just for a little perspective here. And save this video because this is low-key good advice. You should know sports and politics, but prioritize knowing sports more than politics, because a man, he'll want to talk to you about sports, but he'll want to teach you about politics. Either you understand the difference there or you don't. College is a scouting event. You're there to get your MRS degree. If you're pretty, go for the athletes. If you're smart, go for the business or finance majors. Cheating is inevitable, not a deal breaker, but you do need to set rules and regulations for how your husband's indiscretions will be handled. You can cheat too, just never get caught. Unless your husband is into that and wants to watch or join, and I'm so serious. Your man's net worth always dictates your behavior as his mate. First of all, always go for the highest net worth that you can. But the richer your man is, the skinnier, the blonder, and the wilder in bed you need to be. If your man is not super wealthy when you meet him, but he's ambitious and you believe in him, start slow and modest and get freakier as he gets richer. Also, vice versa, because cheating is not a deal breaker, but going broke certainly is. Next tip. Son secure funds. Don't ever forget that. I've heard that a million freaking times. Son secure funds. First of all, no matter how long it takes you to get married, never get pregnant before you get married. And if you do, fetus deletus, because you are bred to be a wife, not a baby mama. But when you do get married, you need to get pregnant as soon as possible. And by God, you need to pray it is a son. And if it's not a son, keep trying until you get a son, but no more than 3. That way, when y'all hit 50, if he decides to cash you in for a newer model, you don't have a school bus of kids dragging behind you, okay? No more than 3 kids. And the last tip I'll leave you with is my personal favorite. It's not a matter of if you'll get breast implants. It's a matter of when you'll get breast implants. And baby, I am waiting on mine. You go on and on for real. Like, I'm not even mad about it because these are truly good rules to live by if you want to live a good life. Like, hate it or love it, this is how to get what you want.
Okay, so listen here. A couple days ago, I made a video talking about how I was approached by a white man at the grocery store. He ended up being very nice, very respectful, asked me out on a date, to which I accepted. Now, I did in my previous video say that I was about to prejudge him. And I went on to say that he does not look like the type where his family would accept him walking into the room with a melanated beauty such as myself. For the most part-ish, the comments under that video have been cool. You got people saying, go for it. I get it, but don't block your blessings. What's bothering me are the white women under that video and in the comments attempting to invalidate my very valid concern. I've gotten a lot of comments saying that my thought process is wrong and most white people don't feel that way and it shouldn't be about race. Listen, I'll be the first to say that love is love. You can love whoever you want. You can date whoever you want. I don't care. However, this last election has proved that the vast majority of white people feel that way. But if listening to my video, okay, and the first thing you do is to invalidate my concerns as a black woman about dating a white man, you might want to take some stock and think about why that is the first thing you chose to do. You don't get to invalidate my feelings and my concerns because you don't agree with them. So what? I am not you, and you damn sure can't be me. I 1,000,000% plan to go out with this gentleman. We have a date on Friday. I'm actually excited about it. He actually planned the entire date. So I'll be back to let y'all know how the date went. But until y'all find that out, how about y'all do some soul searching and recognize that the world does not revolve around your view of it. There are others who experience things differently than you do. Be a blessing.
I married outside my culture. I'm Mexican, born in Mexico, raised, lived my entire life in Mexico, and it all changed about 8 years ago. Currently, I am married to my white American husband. We have 3 kids. They are 4, 2, and 1, and we want to have our 4th kid pretty soon. Yeah, our 4th kid. In this economy, yes, we love it. We love being parents. That was our calling ever since we met. Culture shock number 1 that I found is in being a married interracial couple is the word divorce. It's so weird how the first few times that we had arguments, he would immediately start to apologize, thinking that I was going to divorce him. So I thought that was a little bit weird and never came to thought that it was actually a culture shock until I started meeting more and more of his friends, and they were remarried to other people. So all of a sudden I understood, oh, so it means that here, if you are white, you get divorced if you have an issue, and then you move on to a different person. In Mexico, you don't do that. In Mexico, it's weird, and when there are divorced people, like divorced couples, that's just not really a big thing over there. You kind of resolve your issue, or you're married to this ugly person the rest of your life, I guess, but you definitely don't get divorced. So now he understands that. It's like, you know what, we got to work our stuff out. At least that's what I saw in my household. You don't get divorced. But it's a big issue here in the US. I have noticed that. I live in Utah. I don't know if that's a Utah thing, but you can find a lot of divorced people, but not with a second, third, fourth, no, like fifth marriage, sixth marriage, and it's like nothing. But yeah, I'm Mexican, and we just don't get divorced. It's not a real thing. I mean, of course, right? If you need to get divorced, you'll get divorced, but yeah, that's not like an actual Mexican thing. So that was a big culture shock in my marriage. I don't know if you have experienced something like that, but yeah, find yourself, if you are a white man and you just don't want to be going through the whole I'll divorce you tomorrow situation, find yourself a Hispanic and you won't get divorced.
As somebody with a black mom and white dad, this black wife effect, chef's kiss, needs to be studied on a deeper and more statistical level. Because these glow ups that I'm seeing with these white men who are with their black girlfriends and wives, it's just so heartwarming, and it really hits close to home. And I can happily and proudly say that my father also went through the black wife effect. My mother leveled up my dad in terms of his career. So it was 2001, 9/11 had happened, and the job market completely just went downhill. And my father lost his job due to this. So my dad became domestic dad. He took care of me. He cleaned the house. He cooked. He helped me with my homework. He dropped me off at school, picked me up, while my mother went to work, right? Because, you know, we got to put food on the table. We have to just make sure that things are running smoothly now that he's in this temporary position. My father was job hunting. And mind you, my father doesn't have a degree, whereas my mother does. My dad sees this job at this oil and gas company for a sales position. And it required that he have a degree, but my father didn't have that. So he was like, no, I can't apply for this job. I don't meet the credentials. But the thing about my father is that he has an extensive sales background and he knows how to talk to people. Okay. He's got the personality. My father could sell you this box of tissue easily. However, my mother was like, boy, please, you gonna apply for this job. I don't care whether or not you meet the academic credentials. You need to believe in yourself. And as a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to touch up your resume. Okay, I'm gonna clean it up. I'm going to add on to your skills, and I'm going to just, spruce it up a bit, because black wife effect, I believe in you. I can upgrade you like that Beyonce song. My father at the time had to go back to his old job at a restaurant where he was a manager. And he didn't like it, but he said, you know what, I'm just gonna go back if something better comes up. My mother eventually sends up his resume. My dad's like, I'm not gonna get this job. Tell me why this oil and gas company sees my father's resume and calls him in for an interview. My dad was like, okay, I'm just gonna do the best that I can and we'll just see what happens. Goes to the interview. He sells his skills in sales. But mind you, my father doesn't have a degree. The company calls him back for a second interview. And shortly after the second interview, he gets the job at the oil and gas company. All because my mother, a black woman, believed in him. She believed that my man has all these incredible skills. He's sleeping on himself. And he needs to tap into his confidence and believe that he can get this particular job. He goes into work on his first day and finds out that this very job at this oil and gas company has a lot of perks that come with it. Or he gets his own company vehicle, which was a Ford F-150. He got his own cell phone, which he doesn't have to pay a bill on. And since it's an oil and gas company, he gets free gas. So whenever he's on the road traveling in his F-150, making calls on the mobile phone that he doesn't have to pay the bill for, he also gets free gas. My father is still working at that company to this day and makes very good money. I'm not going to say the figures, but you know, oil and gas, cha-ching. All because my mother, a black woman, believed in him. Now him and my mom paid off their mortgage. They both work very successful jobs. Father works in oil and gas. My mother's an entrepreneur. And they travel 3 or 4 times a year. So they're living a pretty good life. As someone who has seen it for 32 years of her life, as the daughter, as a child of a black mom and a white dad, the black wife trend is very much real. I can see why it's called black girl magic for a reason. And I hope and pray that that man is also leveling you up in some way as well, because I see it in my parents every single day.
So my wife and I have been in some videos together, and come on in, babe. And sometimes the feedback we get is, oh, you're into black chicks. And my first thought is, that's what you get from this? Yes, black women are awesome, beautiful, all that. But this is my wife. I didn't marry a fetish. What am I into? I'm into a beautiful woman who is intelligent, who makes me laugh, who challenges me, who inspires me to be the best person that I can be. I have asked every day, how can I not screw this up? And that's what I try to do every day, is not screw this up. But if you look at this and you think, ooh, he must be into black chicks, that's on you.
Yeah, this is spot on. The black wife and white husband marriages are 44% less likely to end in divorce compared to the white wife and white husband, whereas the white wife and black husband marriages show twice the divorce rate of white wife/white husband couples by the 10th year of marriage. This is the paper behind those statistics. I didn't want to go too far into it in the last video simply because it was already really long and I felt like this is a topic of its own that needs to be discussed in a different video. But the authors gave 2 reasons. Number 1, marriages between black women and white men are much less common than between black men and white women, which may mean that the people who are likely to marry into a black woman/white man marriage are much more selective and less likely to get married unless they have an especially strong commitment to each other. Number 2, stigma against interracial marriages is much stronger for white women in relationships with non-white men, which may cause divorce at higher rates due to the stress that stigma puts on those marriages. Now, this paper is kind of old, like from the much early 2000s, but I'm sure the information still stands today. I did manage to find some updated statistical information on the U.S. Census Bureau, and this perspective suggests that the greater the racial divide between the 2 groups in a couple, the higher the risk of a divorce. So that's why the black and white marriages are more likely to end in divorce compared to Asian and white or Hispanic and white marriages. And that's probably why we actually see a higher percentage for a black man and white woman marriage failing compared to a black woman and a white man marriage failing, because there's less black women married to white men compared to the black men married to white women. But I'm going to give you another perspective. We know that the black woman is the most educated demographic in the US. Now, statistically, white men are more likely to have a college degree or higher than black men. In 2019, 40.8% of white men aged 25 and older had a bachelor's degree or higher compared to 28.4% of black men. Now, let's put it all together. The data is suggesting that the black woman and the black man are not educated at the same rate. But the white man and the black woman are. They are both on average better educated compared to the white woman and the black man. If you are a professional white man who is marriage-minded with a preference for black women, or a professional black woman who is marriage-minded with a preference for white men, you really are going to have to hunt for your mate. But when you eventually find that person for yourself, you are far more likely to view that person as irreplaceable. So you are more likely to see the glass as half empty versus half full when you are having marital problems. We also know that statistically speaking, men are less likely to seek therapy compared to women. And in this case, black men are less likely to seek therapy than black women. So that is probably another reason why the black man and the white woman relationship doesn't work out, because when there is trouble in their marriage, they are going to need to go to therapy, but he is going to refuse because his trauma is so deep within him, because he hates himself and he is anti-black, that he is not going to want to go to therapy because it is going to force him to face those traumas, because the reason why he dated that white woman and married her is because of self-hate. And that is the reason why he put her on a pedestal. And we already know that you cannot have love in a relationship without loving yourself. Otherwise, it's going to implode, which is exactly why those marriages fail. And I just want to make this clear. I'm not saying that every black man and white woman relationship is one-dimensional and is exactly like the example I gave before, just like I'm sure not every white man and black woman relationship is one-dimensional and is like the examples I have given in the previous videos or that are out there on TikTok. I'm just simply stating my opinion and my point of view based on my experience and what I have seen and the research that I have put into this video.
I just wanted to talk about this issue. Being married to a white person doesn't necessarily mean that you are already a millionaire. It doesn't make us rich. It doesn't make you rich. It doesn't make anyone rich. Yeah. So I'm coming here just because there's this notion that all the time people are like, yeah, so you're married to a white man. You should be okay. You should be having money. You should be, debts flying right, left, and center and doing everything. And if there's any participation, especially at home, you're the first one to be added in a group just because you have a white person with you. It's like this person is the god of all. Hey, where? Do you know, being married to this white man, do you know how, hey, my sisters and brothers who have white people as their partners, they can, it's not easy. Dating, do you know, there are some white people who don't even talk to their families. They've not spoken for years. So you're trying to convince this person that, I'm a family person. If there's an issue, we should all come together and so on. They don't understand that because that's not how they are. We have different cultures. We have our religion is also very different. How they pray. Me, I go to church, shakara. Them, they go to church. It's, that's it. There's no dancing. There's no nothing. So the culture is different. The religion is different. How they are brought up is different. Do you know the culture is so different that they would walk naked in the house? Imagine having your parents visiting you, and your white partner is just walking there, bolingo outside, and try to tell him that this is not how he's supposed to be acting because now you have family, he has to cover up. It's like, this is my house, I have the right, the discussions, It's different. It's different. Some of them, they even have to work most of the time, most jobs. They are also human beings just like us. So being married to them is not an addition. As a matter of fact, white people, us black women and men who did this, we should go to therapy. We should go to therapy. For us who haven't even started drinking and even to even get that shilling from this white person. Oh, somersault. Hey, utakuwa umepigishwa hapo, just so that and then you are the first one to add me in those WhatsApp groups that I should be contributing. Being married to these people is not easy. It's not easy. If you don't go mad, if you don't go crazy and start drinking and start even looking for therapy, you're very strong-willed. So hats out to these people who have partners, white partners, who have white. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. So when you see, wengine wetu tukona tukuka, tunaacha tukiwaandika, tumwandika hapo nje. Mimi msini yake kwa hizo WhatsApp group that I should be contributing. You don't know the kind of pressure we go through. Being with a white person is not for the faint-hearted. You have to be strong. Me, I'm telling you, I would paint all of them black, to be honest. I'd even rather now date a black person. Because at least they can understand, we can be able to understand each other. It's not easy. Dating these people is not easy. And it doesn't make you a millionaire. It doesn't make you a billionaire just that you wake up and ask us. So before you start putting me in those WhatsApp groups that I should be contributing money because I'm married to a white person, and if you're ready to do the somersault with me, come bring me in your WhatsApp group. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy. And hats out to those who have them as partners. Me, I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy.
All right, almost 14 years ago to the date, mid-May. Yeah, it's mid-May. Mid-May 2010, Barack Obama was president. I was a 30-year-old newly divorced mother of a 2-year-old living in Baltimore, Maryland. What were you doing in 2010, Mike?
I was living my life. I was in the streets in Baltimore. No, I was in Baltimore, living in Baltimore. I just finished a program for the blind, so I was in the city doing some motivational speaking and some other things in Baltimore City. So living downtown, shout out to Baltimore, living on Charles Street, Charles and Saratoga.
How old were you?
33. She just told me how old I was. I had no idea, but 33.
So I went to grab a salad for lunch at the, what was it called? Fresh and Greens? Fresh and Greens or Fresh Mart, something like that, on Charles and Saratoga in Baltimore. I had walked in, paid for my stuff. I was at the cash register checking out, and I saw this handsome man. tall drink of chocolate milk.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
He was standing, watch your head, babe, there's a tree.
Yeah.
He was standing waiting for his assistant to go shopping. I was checking out, looked at him, and couldn't help but notice how great he looked, and he wasn't wearing a wedding ring. So I actually checked out, walked outside of the store, and I was overcome by this feeling that I had to know him. So much so that I actually turned around, and what'd you do?
No, go ahead.
Watch your head. I turned around and walked back into the store and found him.
And when she came back, she came up to me, and I just felt her nervousness. Were you nervous?
Yeah, super nervous.
It's the first time she admitted that. She was super nervous. So she came up, and she was almost shaking. I could feel her spirit, like it was crazy. But I also felt as if I needed to know her, too. So she came up. The first thing she asked me is, excuse me, but are you single? What did I say?
He said the question is, are you single?
Oh, the cow. Yeah. So that was that. So we exchanged numbers, and that was 14, 15 years ago, right?
And we've been hanging out ever since. He married me, adopted my daughter, moved to Puerto Rico. We're living life, baby.
Yeah, peace.
Hey there, my message today is for white women married to black men. If you're not a white woman married to a black man, then you can feel free to stay. But I'm specifically talking to you white women who are married to black men. You are the person who needs to be educating yourself and deconstructing your own inner subconscious biases, white supremacy culture that you've been raised in, and the racism that exists within you. But how could I have those things? I'm married to a black man. Obviously, I'm not racist at all. That is a huge misconception, and that is the problem. And when you hear black folks say that the black Americans' biggest enemy is white liberal women, that's what they're talking about. We think, oh, we're perfect. We are everyone's dream prize because we're not racist and we're all for community and all of those things because we're liberal. The thing is, thinking that way prevents us from growing and learning. You cannot have been raised in the United States of these here Americas without having been highly influenced by the white supremacist culture in which we live. So it is within you, and it is impacting decisions you make, the way that you respond, how you treat other people. It's in there, and it needs to be acknowledged and then deconstructed, because you can't just deconstruct something that you don't believe is there. So I'm going to be showcasing different books and different content creators on here who really are doing a fantastic job and working really hard to make the world a better place. That's the stuff we think we're doing, but we're actually not. We're just sitting back and smiling. So follow me and we'll go on this journey together. Because even though I've been doing this work for 30 plus years, there's always more to be done. We are never done deconstructing.
I'm going to come to y'all again with another video, but this is for the other side. This is for black men and black women who choose to date a white woman or a white man. I need you to listen up and listen up well. You need to focus on who you're trying to be with. Because a lot of these white women, a lot of these white little girls, a lot of these white little boys and men, they are trying to go with the trend, the fad. They're trying to dip their little toes in the water. This is their fantasy to be with a black man or a black woman. But they daddies and they uncles and they cousins and they brothers don't like it. So you need to watch who you be with. You need to watch who you sleep with. You need to watch who you're talking to. Because even though they may want this, they family don't. A lot of them don't. It's sad I have to come on here and explain this to both sides. It's sad. Because we should be with who we want to be with. God put us on this earth to be happy and to live for Him. And so we should be able to date who we choose to date. But I do know that black women don't like the white women being with black men. And the white men don't like the white women being with black men. So you need to actually watch who you're talking to. Investigate their family. See if their family is going to love you for you. And not for they're going to have to love you for you. And something, I had to redo this video because I was going to tell you, whoever you find, make sure that their family are truly Christ followers. Make sure their family actually loves the Lord with everything in them, and make sure that they choose God, go to church, and live for the Lord. Because if you actually get with somebody whose family loves the Lord and chooses God, they're not going to have a racist bone in their body. They're going to love you for you. Now, if you get with somebody's family who does not live for the Lord or fakes it, like a lot of them are racist, Yes, it still happens in many towns, in many cities, in many states. People still are racist. You know how many videos I've seen on the news about these young black men dating this young white girl? They go with their family out of town on vacation, and all of a sudden the black man's body's missing, or he's hanging from a tree, or something's always happening. Not only black men do you need to watch who you're gonna date, but you need to watch who you're working for. You need to watch who you surround yourself with and your little friends. You need to watch this, because it's sad that so many people turn against people. It's sad. It's sad. It makes me cry at night to think about how people have so many issues. It's disgusting. But all I know to tell y'all is watch who you put yourself around. Because these little white girls, you know what they like doing? These white women, they like to get mad at you, and they'll call the popo. They gonna call the popo. Then they gonna call you the N-word because they getting so mad. See, that is not a woman who loves a black man. A woman who loves a black man would never, ever, ever call you the N-word. Ever. I don't care how mad they get. I don't care what you do to them. If the white woman actually loves the black man, she would never call you the N-word. Nor would she ever call the popo. I've never called the popo on anybody I've ever been with. And I've been with black men since I was 14. I've never called the popo, nor would I ever call the popo. Ever. Because, see, white women know that the judicial system is wrong. They know that the popo's going to take you. They know that the popo's going to put it all on you because the popo's racist. So, most of them are. I'm not going to say all of them are, but most of them are. So, the white woman knows they have the head over you. Like, they can call and you're gone. Without question. Without question. So, it's sad. Like I said, it's sad I'm coming on here having to come with this video. But, black men, black women, you need to watch who you're talking to. You actually need to watch who you're talking to. But you know what? This could happen in all scenarios. So whoever you're trying to talk to, whoever you're trying to date, please, investigate the family. Be around it. Ask questions. Ask questions. Ask questions. Do your parents like interracial dating? Have you ever been with a black man? What does your family think about it? You need to be asking these questions. But anyways, that's all I have for you. But just watch your surroundings and find the right person. Find the person who loves you for you. Find the person whose family will love you for you. Y'all, stay blessed.
If you are a white woman and you are dating, in love with, married to a black man, I want you to listen up. There are certain things that you need to know. And I don't think this is spoke about enough. But the most dangerous thing in this world are the tears of a white woman. And if you truly love the black man that you are with, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, including protecting him from yourself. And what do I mean by that? My son was dating a white woman. My son is biracial. They got into an argument in public, and she started to scream and cry. And my son immediately left the scene. She was outraged. She couldn't believe my son left. My son left because my son knew that if he stayed there and this woman was crying and screaming at him, a black man, there was not going to be any questions asked. He was going to be thrown to the ground. He was going to go to jail. It was not going to be any questions asked because this white woman was crying and screaming about him. Now, I'm sure this female may have been hurt. Her feelings was hurt. She was a little emotional. However, when you are dating a black man and you're a white woman, you need to understand that sometimes your fucking feelings and your emotions have to take a fucking back seat to not cause harm to the person you are dating, that you love, that you are married to. And I'm not telling you that if you are truly in fucking danger, not to get help. But if you're just emotional, you're just pissed off, and you want to scream and hoop and holler, in public is not the time. Because that can turn out very deadly for the black man that you claim to love so much.
whether you realize it or not. If you were just dating a white man and you were yelling, nobody would really pay any attention to that shit. But when people see a white woman and a black man and you're screaming, all hell will break loose. Because when white women cry, everybody responds. Even if the shit is stupid, even if it's frivolous, even if it's a lie. The most deadliest thing in this world are white women tears. I have said this time and time again. And I learned this very, very early in life. I grew up in the projects. I was raised by two wonderful black women that helped my mother raise me. So I know what I have witnessed, what I have experienced, and I know for a fact of what I speak. I learned very early in life that I could be a voice for my friends and my family because people would listen to me far more than they would listen to them. And if you listen to anything I have ever said to you on this app, if you are a white woman and you are dating a black man, you are in love with a black man, you are married to a black man, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, even if it is protecting him from you. Handle that shit at home if you are not in danger.
I think with all of the videos you watched, here is my 1 or 2 cents, right, about getting married to someone you're not of the same race with. To be honest, I really don't see a problem with it, right? Because me as a creator, I've seen some white people who are not racist. Even though a lot of white people said it's impossible for a white person not to be racist. But I've seen some white people that are not racist at all. Some white people who are against what's happened in their country, who are against how black people have been treated in their country, right? So me, I'm going to okay that. But then it has a lot of things to do about it. Now, it is different for the man or for the woman to have an ideology of what the black person has suffered in America and is accommodating or is willing to actually share their life with some other person who is not their race. Now, what about the external family, right? That's where I think they're going to be a problem, because I've seen so many people who are like, yeah, their mother or their father had no problem with, getting married to a black person, even as a white person, you understand? But now they have issues with their grandparents actually accepting their kids because their grandparents are also racists. You understand? So for me, I feel it is a whole lot of journey, because how do you even do that? I would say getting married to someone who is of another race is sacrifice. I think love is not enough. It's sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice this? Your kids are going to face this. Are you willing to actually see that? What about you yourself? That's either the man or the woman. Some of the family members might not like you. So for me, I don't feel it's sacrifice. I don't know what your own opinions are. I want to see in the comment section. Have you been married to someone of the other race before? How was it? Did you enjoy it? What did you think are the effects, or anything? What are the disadvantages as well? Let's know in the comments, because who knows? I might, yeah, because who knows? Let me learn, because I might also, I like my black people. I will forever want a black man, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What if, yeah. So let's hear in the comment section. Do not forget to, actually subscribe, like, and share my videos to your channel, right? And then to your people. Let's talk about this topic so I can learn. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Right? So I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.